should get a big deal. Now see, if we're in the entry market, you can do the low, right, and you'll get a lot of offers. Why would we do it here if it's not the entry market? Because what you want them to do is think up, not down, and you want to expose the property to as many buyers as you can. So a one in front looks better than a two, right? More buyers, more people will come. They will basically be excited about the property, and that's what you want to do. And I'll give you my best example. In the condominium that I live in, everything there is going for about, I would say, even the one bedrooms, and there are just a few of them, probably for over $1 million, okay? And everybody that basically sells one says, oh boy, you know, I have $1 million property, now I want $1.2 million, now I want $1.3 million. So I have these people down the hall who called me, and they were moving, they're going to a community where they're gonna live. And they said to me, we've had 3 agents come out, Carol, and this is what they've told us. So which price do you think we should pick? And I said, I wouldn't pick any of them. Oh my God, they said, but they told us, and look at what's been selling, and this one down the hall just sold for $1.3 million. What do you think? I said, I don't care what it sold for. I said, if I were you, I would put this property on the market for $999,000. Oh my God, they said, but people are getting $1.3 million. I said, you'll get $1.3 million, believe me, because what you want is it's gonna be the hottest property in here. We don't get them very often. And also, every agent's gonna come to see it because they're gonna think 2 things. Either you don't know what you're doing because you priced it so low, or they have to see what's wrong with it because something had to be wrong with it. Well, they staged it, it looked beautiful. That property went for $1.5 million. Okay, you're getting my picture, you're getting what I'm saying, all right. Now, you have to get sellers to buy into that concept. But believe me, the concept today is, give me a deal. That's what they need to understand. You have a whole generation here who has lived on, get me a deal. That's how they've lived. Their parents gave them everything. They've been educated, they've been trained that they're beautiful, wonderful, and perfect. The world gave them everything. They're entitled to everything, right? So now, we have to make sure that they think they're getting the deal of a lifetime because they're 30s now, they're coming out of the woodwork, and they're coming at you. So now, let's say that they say to you, well, we don't know which one to pick. Then what you say to them is, okay, let's do this. Let's fill out the contract. You want to get the contract signed, but we'll leave the price not in there for the moment. You think about it overnight. I'm gonna go back to the office, I'm gonna look at what's come on the market, what's happening, and let's meet again tomorrow and let's discuss it. The other thing you can say to them is, you know, I can understand how you're thinking and you don't quite know which one you'd like to pick. Why don't I do this? Let me come back to my office. Let me bring 2 or 3 of the other agents here who understand this market. Let them come through and let me get their opinion, and then I'll come back and I will discuss it with you. So you don't have to walk away and not get something, okay? You can walk away and put it on hold. Get the contract signed. Get the damn contract. If they're gonna take it way high, then you start there and you're gonna need a longer listing. You know that. The other thing that you can say to people is, okay, let's do this. The closer they're willing to go where you would recommend them, then the shorter the listing needs to be, and maybe the more marketing you will do quickly because you know you're gonna sell it anyway. Now, you know the next thing you're gonna have to negotiate is your fee. I don't know why anybody ever says to me, oh my God, I just can't believe that I have to face that. Of course you have to face it. What are the 2 things they're interested in? What is my house worth? I think it's worth more than you because you're an idiot. My house is worth more. Why? Because it's my house. No, it's not worth more because it's your house, but fine. I think you can get past that one. Then the other is, what are you gonna charge me, right? Okay, so let's talk about that. I love it when they say to you, you know, Susie was here, and we really like you better, but Susie said she'll do it for 4%, and you're sitting here saying you want 6, right? Okay, fine. Now, let's talk about, the first thing is, you never want to use the word commission. I don't like that word. I think the correct word to use is the fee. A fee for service. See, professionals get a fee, lawyers get a fee, doctors get a fee, they don't get a commission. So we want to get them away from commission, all right? Now here's some of the things that you can say to people. If somebody wants to do it for 4, and you know you're not going to get 6, what you can say to them is, you know, I'm willing to do something. I'll do it for 4.5, not 4, 5.5. If you get 0.5% on every deal you do this year, you will get a whole bunch more money than if you just take it at 4. So try that approach. That's one good approach. The second thing you can say to people is, I know that you need a place to go and you're going to be buying a property. I'd be happy to work with you this way. I would need a full fee on the first one, and on the second one, we'll work something out and we'll get something. That's another thing that you can do that's acceptable to people. The other thing I think that you can say is, if you just really want to say it the right way, is to say this. I wish I could do that, but I can't do for one client what I wouldn't do for the others. Now let me just try to explain to you about the fee and why I think my fee is valid and justifiable. At the end of the day, everything is about the negotiation at the end. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where 100% of everything gets done. It's certainly in my best interest to get you the highest price possible because we all win that way. Here's what I know. It all comes down to 2 people, 2 agents sitting at a table and working out all the terms and conditions, competing or negotiating. That's what this is all about, the art of the deal. And at the end of the day, here's what we know. A person who is persistent, who's the strongest, who has the best experience, who's tenacious, who's the bull in the china shop, usually wins. And the person who's weak and can't hold the line and already concedes what they've already done before we're even talking about the art of the deal and the negotiation is the weakest one. So I'm probably not the right agent for you because I don't do that with my people, and I can't do that now with you. So I would not be the right agent. But I do tell you this, I hope, and I'm going to try very hard to bring a buyer, because here's why. I want you to remember one thing. When we're sitting down and your agent is against me, I'm going to bring my buyer. I didn't concede. I'm going to be persistent. I'm going to be the bull in the china shop. Who do you think's going to win at that table? My buyers are going to win. So you think about that because you have the most expensive asset you have in your portfolio on the line. And here's the deal. Nobody gets paid until you get what you want. And at the end of the day, if I haven't done my job, if I haven't given you full service of what you need, I'll know before you will, and I will come to you and discuss my fee and make an adjustment on my portion. I can't do that for the company, but I can do it on mine. That's how confident I am that at the table, I can bring you 4 aces and the other side can't. And I said, I want you to know, and I think you should ask people. Tell them they're going to be up against me, and I hope some of them will say, oh my God, not her, I don't want to be up against her. That's a good thing to say because they need to understand that yes, they're going to pay a little bit more going in, but it's in their best interest because at the end of the day, you can always change the fee at the end. You can always give them something back. You can always make a concession if it didn't work out right. But what they want and what you want is the commitment that basically they're willing to pay you a just price. The other thing is, look, if somebody's working for 4%, they're not going to give you the time and quality and the effort that it's going to be if you pay them what is just. You can tell them this is everything we do. They don't care. That's your job. They don't care that you're going to be on the inspection, that you're going to hold an open house. I mean, if you give them that whole list, I would say to you, what do I care? Isn't that your job? I don't care about that. Tell me the extra things you're going to bring. You have access to the network. You know when properties aren't on the MLS because a lot of them aren't. You have access to buyers. You have access to a whole network of a company called Keller Williams that has offices all over so you can expose the property. You understand how to negotiate. You understand how to give an open house. You understand what it takes to get this sold at the best price possible. That's what they're paying you for. They're not paying you for all the rest of the stuff to go to the home inspection and basically to be there. They're paying for you to, one, get them the highest price, protect them and keep them out of any kind of liability that they need. That's what you're paying them for, and that is worth a full 6%. Because tell them the other thing is, oh my gosh, if you basically get into a liability situation and you're sitting at the table, and just give them these examples, and I'll give you a great example. Where do sellers get in trouble? With disclosures, and you know that, okay? That's the biggest place where they get in trouble. Mention that, it's fine, and say to them, when we do this, I'm happy to come over and sit down with you so we've done this correctly, because you know how they fill them out, what they wanted to say, or what they don't want it to say, right? Okay, and they don't know anything. They don't know whether somebody died in the house. If they did, how many years? It's 3 years, and if somebody died of age, you can't disclose that. But the best story I can give you is when I was at Alon Canal, we sold this house in Los Gatos, and the people that bought it were walking by there one night because they wanted to see what the neighborhood looked like at night, right? They had a baby and a little carriage, and the guy next door was watering his lawn or watering his flowers or something. And they went and introduced themselves, and they said, hello, and we're gonna be your new neighbors, and we're just thrilled to be here. And the guy says to them, doesn't the house look great since the fire? The fire? What fire? Oh my God. We get the call, it's 9 o'clock at night. What happened to this house if there was a fire? So we say to the sellers, hello, was there a fire? Oh yeah, there was, but it got all replaced. It's all been redone and it's up to code. Wait a minute now. Now the buyers want to see that. They want the permits. They want to know what was done. Was it up to code? Did you get a final permit? Oh my God. Do you think that doesn't happen? It happens all the time. Okay, so there you are. You're sitting there, right? And the judge says, you know, did you fill this out this way? Yeah, you, why? Well, I don't know. I just filled it out that way. Guess what? You got a liability issue, and you know that. I can't tell you how many times deals fall through or they get delayed and it blows up somebody's 1031 exchange or it blows up somebody's something because they haven't done that correctly. So what are you paying them for? You're not paying them to do an open house, which is nice. You're not paying them to go around and drive them in cars. You need to basically tell them you're a consultant, you're an advocate, you're an advisor, you're a guardian that's going to take their best, most expensive asset and protect it and get them the best available price you can in the market they've been given. That's very different than saying I can take you around in my car. Oh, whippy, I don't need you to go on my car. I can get on the internet. I can have those goggles and actually look at it myself. I don't need you. It's nice you're doing an open house. That's great, but I can go to my own open houses. So at the end of the day, that's what you need to do with sellers. And I think if you do that, it's gonna have a whole different feel because you're going in as a professional. This is a business. This is my business. This is what I do for a living. I'm not some real estate person just running around in a fancy car, okay? That's leased. I know that. Okay, fine. I am a professional. And when you get there, you need to say that to them. I'm very happy to sit down with you. I'm probably going to be a little bit different than some of the agents that you've interviewed because I look at this as my business and this is your home. And this is going to be done in a professional business way because that's how I work with my clients. Do you understand how I've set the mode? Now you can go talk about the market, talk about theirs. You can do the stats. You can talk about the profile of the buyer, the competition, and your fee. Now you've opened the door. And don't feel badly about discussing any of that. And if they say to you, well, that's very nice, but you know, Sally said 4%, we're going to use Sally, then you get a choice. You can make some commission adjustments or fee adjustment with them, or you can say what I've done many times. I wish you the best. I'm really not the right agent for you. And I hope that, you know, you sell your home and everything goes well. I cannot tell you how many times I would do that, and they would email me or call me and say, it's driving us crazy. Why won't you list our house? Because isn't that what you all do for a living? You just want a lot of listings. And I would call them back and say, no, that is not what I do. I don't list houses, I sell houses. And you put me and your home in a position that I can't do the best for you. And I need to know I can do the best for you. That's important to me, and I can't. So I wish you the best. They don't like that because you're driving them crazy, and that's a good thing. All right, that's the negotiation, I think, with the seller.